What a day it turned out to be, a day of complete fireworks on day 2 of the no-confidence debate in Parliament. It started off with Rahul Gandhi making a political charge that Mr. Modi's government has killed India and the idea of India in Manipur. That was a charge that Rahul Gandhi made. And then subsequently, there was this controversy between Rahul Gandhi and the Treasury benches where the BJP alleged that Mr. Gandhi threw a flying kiss at the Treasury benches, and that became a huge controversy. BJP women MPs, in fact, went ahead and complained to the Speaker. But then, subsequently in the evening, it was Amit Shah, the Home Minister, who held fort. And Amit Shah responded point by point to Rahul Gandhi and to the Congress party, saying that while it was painful to see the video of these two kooky women being paraded naked, there is no need to change the Chief Minister as of yet. That was Amit Shah's contention. He also went on to say that the Chief Secretary, the DGP, all of them had been changed. But mind you, both from the Congress side, from Rahul Gandhi's side, as well as from the BJP and Amit Shah's side, this was a political speech laying the ground for 2024. It's going to be India versus Quit India. It also sets the stage for the concluding speech tomorrow in the no-confidence motion, and that is going to be of Prime Minister Modi. But first, on day 2, after a day of fireworks, who has the edge in Parliament?
इन्होंने मणिपुर में हिंदुस्तान की हत्या की है, सिर्फ मणिपुर की नहीं, हिंदुस्तान की हत्या की है। आज तो 20% मिलिटेंसी है, ये कांग्रेस पार्टी ने पैदा किया है। भारत माता की हत्या आपने मणिपुर में की।
Today of all the days, people like you need to remember what was told to the British: quit India.
Slogans, protests and fiery exchanges. Day 2 of the No Trust debate raged in Parliament, with Rahul Gandhi making his return to take on the Modi government over the Manipur issue. Rahul led the charge of the INDIA alliance, recounting his visit to the violence-hit state, accusing the centre of murdering Bharat.
मैं मणिपुर में अपनी मां की हत्या की बात कर रहा हूं। मैं आदर से बोल रहा हूं। आपने मेरी मां की हत्या की मणिपुर में। एक मेरी मां यहां बैठी है, दूसरी मां को आपने मणिपुर में मारा है।
This drew a sharp reaction from the centre, accusing the Congress of a legacy of misrule in the northeast, which has fueled the current tensions in the state.
So all the thousands of people who were killed during Congress misrule, Rahul Gandhi should take responsibility. He should take full responsibility for that.
मणिपुर खंडित नहीं है, विभाजित नहीं है, मेरे देश का अंग है।
The war didn't stop there. The BJP rained fire on Rahul Gandhi, accusing him of insulting female MPs by ending his speech with a flying kiss.
Never before has the misogynistic behavior of a man been so visible in Parliament as what was done by Shri Rahul Gandhi today. गांधी खानदान के संस्कार में भी एक संस्कार ये है, मिसोजिनी और महिलाओं के साथ अभद्र व्यवहार।
But the Congress called this a mere diversionary tactic.
Smriti Irani's problem is that she is blocked with the hate against Mr. Gandhi, and we all know that thing that Mr. Gandhi spoke about Bhai or Behno in Parliament. He spoke about very clearly that he is brothers and sisters. That is the word he used it in Parliament.
The BJP launched the Quick India offensive, targeting the INDIA alliance for corruption, politics and appeasement. But the strongest counter-strike came when Home Minister Amit Shah spoke in Parliament.
मोदी जी ने आज नारा दिया है, भ्रष्टाचार क्विट इंडिया, परिवारवाद क्विट इंडिया, तुष्टीकरण क्विट इंडिया। डे 1 से चर्चा के लिए तैयार थे, मगर वो चर्चा नहीं चाहते। उनको विरोध करना, मेरी चर्चा से संतुष्ट न होते तो फिर कहते प्रधानमंत्री करे। मैं 2 नेताओं को बरोबर याद है, समाजवादी पार्टी के अखिलेश जी और राहुल जी, दोनों ने कहा है तो मोदी वैक्सीन है, देखो लेना मत। और 130 करोड़ लोगों को दोनों डोज लगाकर कोरोना से बचाने का। यूपीए का चरित्र सत्ता बचाने के लिए भ्रष्टाचार करने का चरित्र है। ये एक अविश्वास का प्रस्ताव ऐसा है जिसमें प्रधानमंत्री और मंत्रिमंडल के प्रति न जनता को अविश्वास है, न सदन को अविश्वास है, और ये विश्वास प्रस्ताव लेकर आए। सबसे ज्यादा धार्मिक और नस्लीय दंगे किसी के शासन में हुए हैं तो श्री जवाहरलाल नेहरू, इंदिरा गांधी और राजीव गांधी के समय में हुए।
The Prime Minister is expected to speak in Parliament on Thursday to close out the centre's counter to the opposition. The no trust vote was doomed to fail, given the brute majority of the NDA and the support of the key regional satraps like the BJD and YSRCP. But beyond ushering in Rahul Gandhi's return to Parliament, what has the opposition gained with this battle of optics on the road to 2024?
All right, so it was a battle of optics on the road to 2024. Let's bring you up to speed with the attack and counter-attack over the course of what was a fiery day in Parliament, day 2 of this no-confidence motion. Now, Rahul Gandhi's attack in the morning, and this was the highlight of his speech where he said, Bharat Mata, the idea of India, has been killed by the BJP in Manipur. To which Mr. Shah, the Home Minister, has countered by saying, politicizing the violence in Manipur is shameful. He said it was painful to see the video of the two Kuki women being paraded naked, but the politics is even more shameful. Rahul Gandhi said that centre has divided Manipur into two parts between the Kuki-dominated hills and the Meitei-dominated valley or the plains. The extensive peace push in the northeast under the NDA. Mr. Shah gave a whole list of the development projects and the number of times Mr. Modi has visited the northeast in his 9 years as Prime Minister. Rahul Gandhi's attack for Prime Minister Modi: Manipur is not in India, in the context that the Prime Minister has not visited Manipur despite 3 months of violence there. Legacy of misrule, says Mr. Shah, that is the root cause of the Manipur crisis. He gave examples of how there was violence, ethnic conflict in 90s, in 1993, in 1997. Also, Rahul Gandhi going on to attack the Prime Minister, saying his arrogance is that his arrogance did not let him visit Manipur even once. Mr. Shah countering by saying that previous Congress regimes never took the Northeast seriously, including in the 93 riots, when it was the junior Home Minister who spoke about this issue. The Prime Minister at that time did not care to visit Manipur. Also, Rahul Gandhi, like I said, this was the headline from his speech where he said the BJP has killed the idea of India inside Manipur. Mr. Shah countering this, and this is an attack that Prime Minister started. You will continue to hear this in the run-up to 2024. Quit India of corruption, appeasement and dynastic politics. This is in the Congress's DNA. And finally, Rahul Gandhi ended his speech by calling the BJP members Desh Drohis because they had killed Ma Bharti, they had killed Bharat Mata in Manipur. That's how Rahul Gandhi ended his speech. One Neta, this is Mr. Amit Shah's counter, that one Neta has been launched and relaunched 13 times in a reference, of course, to Rahul Gandhi. All right, so let's now go across to our guests who are joining us. It was a fiery day in Parliament. We have a full panel joining us on Brass Tacks tonight. GVL Narasimha Rao is Member of Parliament of the BJP. We'll also be going across to our Congress guest who is joining us. That is M.K. Vishnu Prasad, Lok Sabha Member of Parliament of the Congress. Pawan Verma, author and former Member of Parliament, is also on the broadcast this evening. Nadan Mehta is Group Consulting Editor with Network 18. And Professor Manojit Mandal, political analyst and sympathizer of the TMC, will also be joining us. Let me start with you, GVL Narasimha Rao. Rahul Gandhi, the highlight of his speech was him saying that BJP has killed Bharat Mata in Manipur, that BJP has killed the idea of India and Manipur. You have split Manipur into two, and that the Prime Minister did not bother to visit Manipur even once, did not bother to speak about Manipur in Parliament, and that was his line of attack against you. Your response?
Zakka, to me, Rahul looked completely graceless, and also on a very sensitive issue concerning Manipur. The government was willing to speak on this issue from day one. Government was willing for a debate. Home Minister Amit Shah ji on the floor of Parliament, floor of Lok Sabha and also on Rajya Sabha stated more than once that we are ready for a debate, immediate debate for any length of time. But it was the Congress which ran away from the debate, citing some kind of excuse, one or other. Even in Rajya Sabha, the day we passed Delhi bill, Amit Shah ji 2 days ago said I'm prepared for a debate on the 11th because 8th, 9th and 10th Lok Sabha was debating the no confidence motion. It is the Congress which wanted to politicize this entire issue, and saying Bharat Mata has been killed is a comment that is full of I would call it a traitorship. Rather than calling the BJP, we have seen NewsClick reports, what they have stated in New York Times, how Congress party on umpteen occasions has been acting as a propaganda vehicle for the Communist Party of China. We can call them real traitors. The way they have taken money from the embassy of China, Rajiv Gandhi Foundation, the manner in which they signed an MOU with the Communist Party of China, the manner in which Rahul Gandhi secretly meets with Chinese ambassador at the standoff when Doklam, there was a standoff at Doklam for a long period of time. And it is the Congress Party whose trust in India is under question. So their patriotism is under question, really under question. They need to understand, they need to explain. The BJP, the people of this country always stood for the Bharat Mata.
Let me ask M.K. Vishnu Prasad of the Congress Party, this line of attack that Bharat Mata has been murdered in Manipur. Now, nationalism has always been the BJP's strong suit. It was never the Congress's strong suit, as we've seen in the 2019 election in the aftermath of Balakot. Why did Mr. Gandhi choose to make that particular line of attack? Because by attacking Bharat Mata, again, you're giving the BJP a convenient sort of handle, because they can turn around and say that, look, this is exactly what we've been saying all along, that the Congress Party does not stand for India, does not stand for Bharat Mata. That's why in Parliament, Mr. Gandhi said Bharat Mata was murdered in Manipur. Mr. Vishnu Prasad.
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to say BJP is a specialist in lip service. They say so much about Bharat Mata ki Jai, nationalism, patriotism. But Manipur is a part of India. And when Manipur is burning, not because of a particular issue like women and other things, but basically it's a riot. It's a completely constitutional breakdown is happening. After 80 days of the incident, Prime Minister is opening his mouth, that too not inside the Parliament, outside the Parliament. Prime Minister never bothers this Parliament, and he never believes in discussions. See, only when we discuss, we can resolve some issue. But he hates being criticized, he hates being accused of. Then what is the meaning of a Parliament and what is the meaning of a discussion? It is a strange incident that all opposition parties unite together and inviting a Prime Minister for a discussion on Manipur issue. That too, Manipur is burning. See, is not Manipur a part of India, and is not Prime Minister Modi is a Prime Minister for those Manipur people also. Is he not responsible? Okay, Amit Shah said Home Minister wants to give reply, but we are demanding a reply from Prime Minister because Prime Minister is very keen in talking Man Ki Baat. It's a monologue, it's a one way. And he doesn't like entertain anybody to question him also. And the maximum respect he gave to the Parliament is the first day when he saluted the steps of the Parliament. But after that, in the history of Indian politics, nobody ever treated Parliament at such a low level. See, imagine almost 5 years is going to end. That is second term of BJP government. But this fifth year, even now we don't have an election for deputy speaker. Because in a protocol wise, it has to be given to the opposition party. And he hates it. And this is a simple example of how he is mismanaging the entire system. And, it's very ironic they talk about nationalism, patriotism. But I am 100% sure Prime Minister running away to answer all our questions, and we just wanted to resolve the issue.
No, so
Had we
tomorrow
had
he
the
will
discussion
speak.
started earlier,
He
we
will
would have had a
speak.
healthy discussion.
And
tomorrow,
I'm pretty sure that he will
almost
answer.
for 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, sir. Tomorrow evening, Prime Minister will conclude this no confidence
almost for
debate, and
2-3
I'm pretty
weeks.
sure that he will
Let him
answer all
let
your
him answer,
questions.
because
Whether it is
after that-
satisfactory or not,
see,
we'll leave
after
it.
that-
But let me go to Pawan Verma.
we will
You know,
not have
for
an
me,
opportunity
sir,
to
with your
counter him,
permission,
na?
let me go to
We
Pawan
will
Verma,
not have an
please.
opportunity to counter him.
Let me go to Pawan Verma, please. Pawan Verma, the Home Minister, the one standout thing that that Mr. Home Minister's speech of over 2+ hours was that the BJP and the NDA government of the centre does not find reason enough to change the Chief Minister, Mr. Biren Singh, at this point of time, because according to the Home Minister, the Chief Minister is cooperating. He said whatever other changes we need to make, the Chief Secretary, the DGP, I think there's a Special Security Advisor, all of whom were sent in Delhi, but there is no compelling need yet to change the Chief Minister. Is that something that you buy? Because that is one thing that the opposition has been saying. Yes, the Prime Minister has not visited Manipur. You've not spoken about Manipur. But why are you not changing the Chief Minister? At least it will send a message of confidence down the rank and file in the state to both communities in the state that under someone's watch, law and order has gone down the tube. We are holding that person accountable.
Thank you, Zakka. I'll make some broad points to begin with, and then there can be a subject of debate. First of all, this no confidence motion would not have been at all essential, nor is it sustainable, given the numbers. Had, I think, the Prime Minister, on his own volition, as the Prime Minister of the country, as one of the most popular leaders with the greatest amount of influence and authority, agreed right at the beginning to have a debate on Manipur, setting the business of the House aside temporarily under Rule 267. That did not happen, nor did the Prime Minister speak in Parliament on Manipur separately. In fact, he will be speaking perhaps for the first time when he responds to the motion of no confidence. I think if the Prime Minister had led not only his party but the entire country in an act of solidarity involving the opposition to tackle a burning issue like Manipur earlier, we wouldn't have 3 days of Parliament on a no confidence motion. So that's point number one. Point number two, about Biren Singh. I really fail to understand why he has become so indispensable to the BJP when apparently both the Meitei community and the Kuki community have lost confidence in him, except for a matter of prestige that we will not change a chief minister on the pressure of the opposition, but will change our own chief ministers entirely in an entire cabinet when we want to. I think this is a matter which the government should introspect about. We want a solution to Manipur. Now, 2 or 3 general points, if you would like me to speak now on Mr. Rahul Gandhi's speech and Mr. Amit Shah's speech, or I can come on that later.
All right. I think 1 point each on what you felt was the standout in Rahul Gandhi's speech and the standout in Mr. Amit Shah's speech. 1 point each.
Well, I'll tell you something about Mr. Rahul Gandhi. You see, his speech was looked upon with great anticipation because he had been suspended from Parliament, he had returned, and now this was a no confidence motion against the government, which involved substantially Manipur, but a great many other things. I think Rahul Gandhi ji did not. He made an impassioned speech, but I think he did not touch upon the plenitude of issues on which the opposition has been talking about the failures of the government. Unemployment, price rise, rising inequality, authoritarianism. These are issues which I think Rahul Gandhi could have touched upon.
Okay.
His speech was not really a parliamentary speech. It was a rhetorical speech which had a few rhetorical statements, but it was not what I would have expected to be a substantive speech by a senior leader of the largest party on what the failings of the government are. And most importantly, he said one sentence: you have scattered kerosene across the country and lit a fire. If you are talking of social disharmony, talk about it, please. And as far as Mr. Amit Shah, he used the occasion primarily to give a record from his point of view of what the government has achieved, and to stress the point, apart from the issue of Manipur, that the people have faith in this government and that the opposition is incapable of challenging it.
Okay, so let me ask Nalan Mehta this. So, as Pawan Verma said, I think he's right. There was a lot of anticipation to Rahul Gandhi's speech, not least because he was coming back to Parliament after 3+ months of being disqualified. And this was a burning issue, an issue which had held up Parliament for the better part of the last 4 weeks. And the first 10 minutes when he was trying to set the stage with Bharat Jodo and why he undertook Bharat Jodo, I think he rambled a bit. It did get to fiery proportions when he specifically talked about, Bharat Mata has been murdered in Manipur and you've split Manipur into two, so on and so forth. But as he himself said in his speech, this was more a dil ka speech and not a dimag ka speech. Do you think it hit the right places? And of course, a lot of it also got lost, I would say, or maybe negated even by that whole flying kiss act. And naturally, I mean, you can't blame the BJP. The BJP will jump to any fault of what Mr. Gandhi does, like they did with the hug and wink last time. This time they jumped all guns blazing to his alleged flying kiss.
Absolutely, Zakka, I agree with you. What we make no mistake, this no confidence motion debate is a drawing of the initial chessboard of the initial rhetorical chessboard for the 2024 discourse. Now, in that sense, in the wider picture, Rahul Gandhi's speech was highly awaited by a lot of people. He's coming back to Parliament after a hiatus, after his membership has been renewed after the decision of the Supreme Court. He's just got his bungalow back. He's done the Bharat Jodo Yatra. He's been to Manipur and come back. There was a lot of interest in the speech. I think he flattered to deceive in the sense that he started off on a promising note, but then the whole soliloquy on Bharat Jodo Yatra kind of went off kilter a little bit. He had a soundbite moment on the Manipur issue. He drove that point home. But I think he missed an opportunity to do a structured critique of the government in the wider sense, in a way that Amit Shah came fairly well prepared for the debate and gave a deeper, longer-term report card. Amit Shah made fundamentally 2 points. One is he placed the problem in Manipur. He sidestepped the question on the specifics of the current situation, but placed it in the historical context, sought to put the blame back on the Congress, including on multiple other incidents in the past in other states, and then gave a wider report card of the government. Now, we have seen this template. Now, in that sense, if you see the Rahul Gandhi speech and the Amit Shah speech, Rahul Gandhi scored high on the specific soundbite jibe on the Bharat Mata issue and the framing around Bharat Mata in Manipur. But I think this was his moment where he could have drawn a much wider critique of the government as part of the 2024 chessboard. I think he missed an opportunity here. Also, if you go back to the last no confidence motion when he had winked at Jyotiraditta Scindia, who was on this side of the fence, on his side of the fence at that time, and now the controversy in inverted commas, whether it was controversy or not, but I think it allowed the BJP, this is politics, to puncture some of the discourse around his speech. I think while he started off by saying that he would speak from the heart, a more prepared speech, especially because of the drama yesterday when his speech was postponed and so on, would have been for Congress supporters, that may have been more par for the course than what we saw today.
So Riju Datta, this entire debate on Manipur was about women and those 2 women who were paraded naked. the crimes against those two women, and in general the plight of the people of Manipur, these two communities, and what has been ravaging their lives over the last 4 months or so. Rahul Gandhi could have used this opportunity to really hit hard home, not just on the issue of Manipur, but on the wider failings, as he called it. I mean, for the first 10 minutes, he was talking about Bharat Jodo and why he did Bharat Jodo and what he learned from Bharat Jodo. But ultimately, he was not able to pierce some of these pressing issues on which he could have very well attacked the Modi government, on which the Modi government's record has not been stellar, whether it is unemployment, whether it is this whole business of divisive politics and so on and so forth. But Mr. Gandhi sort of rambled on for the first 10 minutes. And again, I come back to the point about the flying kiss. It might be a silly controversy, but you cannot fault the BJP for latching on to it, because you can't on the one hand say, Meri maa ki qatl kiya aap logon ne, and then on the other hand be accused of misogyny.
See, if Rahul Gandhi's gesture was wrong inside the parliament, and BJP as the opposition or the, against Rahul Gandhi or against the India Alliance, they will latch on to it. But I think it's a bit rich coming from BJP, because if that is indecency, if that is not allowed, that was inappropriate, then during the 2021 election campaign, when the Honorable Prime Minister came to Bengal and he called the only sitting woman chief minister of the country Didi or Didi, then what was that? What would you call that? So it is a bit rich coming from the BJP, point number one. Point number two, like Pavanji just said very eloquently as always, that even though we know that the numbers are not in our favor for the no confidence motion, we went ahead with that. Why? Because we had all, during the entire monsoon season, we had a absconding prime minister. We had a runaway prime minister. He did speak on Manipur outside the walls of the parliament before the session started for 36 seconds. So it is baffling to me that why he was stopped by the BJP from speaking inside the parliament. And just to get him to speak on the topic, the India Alliance put forward the no confidence motion. There was an emergency rule, again, which Mr. Verma mentioned, Rule 267, but again, that was not addressed. So, parliamentary democracy has gone down the tube. It has become a deep, dark chamber. Let's not get mistaken by that. Like if you see today, when the members of the treasury benches were speaking, the Sansad TV was focused on them. But if you see anybody from the opposition or from the India Alliance speak, you will see in 15 minutes, speeches for 15 minutes, you will see the speaker on the Sansad TV, even the person is speaking continuously for 5 or 7 minutes. So, we have got used to it. The bottom line is, it's not that we hate Narendra Modi, but we love India a bit more than him. That is the point we want to drive across.
Okay.
We want to talk about Manipur. We want to talk about unemployment. We want to talk about inflation. We want to talk about all the burning issues. The Prime Minister and the BJP can think that they are winning a semi-final, they are winning a final, they can pat on their back. But they are missing the point that we have brought in the no confidence motion only to get this runaway Prime Minister to talk about Manipur within the walls of the parliament.
So, GVL, respond to that. The opposition again insisting the only reason the no confidence was brought is not because they don't know that the numbers are clearly stacked up against them, but that, according to them, was the only way to get the PM to come to the House and speak on Manipur as well as other issues. And the second thing they're also saying is that, you've now made this into an election issue with Quit India of corruption and Quit India of dynasty and all of that, the slogans that you've come up with. But on the substantive issue, the issue for which this no confidence was brought forth, there was hardly any mention of the whole Manipur situation, and this justification of continuing with the chief minister, that somehow is still not holding.
Zakka, I don't know if you have heard the entire speech of Honorable Home Minister. He gave a very detailed account of what has been the Manipur situation, how he and his MOAs have spent several weeks in Manipur, how he has got Chief Minister to respond to all the demands or suggestions regarding change of leadership in the police, in the state civil administration. And so I think he's given a very detailed account of it. He was prepared to do it 2 weeks ago. I don't know. This opposition has something. I think they need to get there. They need to tell the people of this country. Home Minister had given on the floor of Parliament, both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, on more than one occasion, he said, I would like to open a debate. I would like to make a statement, and thereafter a debate can happen. Any number of hours we can debate. This on day one, when the House convened on 19th July, both in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, the respective presiding officers agreed for a discussion. So what was this? Why was the opposition not willing to discuss it all these 2-3 weeks? Because they wanted, deliberately they wanted to derail Parliament. They did not want the Parliament to function for the last 2 weeks. And through this kind of a pandemonium, they wanted to score brownie political points. And the no confidence motion, under this, I think a large number of issues have been raised by the opposition parties, and the government is duty bound to answer all of them. You can't choose, you can't decide what the Honorable Prime Minister is going to speak on.
Okay.
He will give you an earful on everything. He will respond to every criticism, and he will hold a mirror to you. And I only hope the opposition will have the courage to sit through and listen.
Okay.
And come out unscathed from Parliament because he will expose the opposition.
Riju Datta, quick
and the
question.
manner.
Yeah, and then I'll go to MK Vishnu
completely...
Prasad after that. Yeah. Riju Datta.
Yeah. The
Quickly.
quick question.
So I think Honorable Prime Minister, I think Prime Minister has a right to reply. He will reply. He will give a comprehensive reply. And as far as comments after making that statement in Lok Sabha, Rahul Gandhi shows how serious he is by flying a case.
Okay.
Who is he really doing
Riju had a quick rebuttal, and then MK Vishnu Prasad. Yeah.
Yeah, so my question is not to the BJP. My question and my statement is to the viewers of your esteemed channel is that when we are talking about the Home Minister and his speeches in the Parliament, would the country want to hear this from a man who was present in Manipur for 3 days and more, and his Chief Minister did not inform him of these atrocities that have been committed on women, and he came back empty-handed, and only action was taken when the video surfaced? The Chief Minister of Manipur categorically said, I suspended the internet because hundreds such incidents has happened in Manipur, and the Home Minister was unaware of the situation. Why should we as Indian citizens want to hear it from this man who is so inept to get records or information from his own Chief Minister who had no clue when he was in Manipur?
So let me go back to MK Vishnu Prasad and stick the focus back to what happened in Parliament. And as Pawan Verma said, and as Nalin Mehta said, Mr. Vishnu Prasad, the feeling was that Rahul Gandhi's speech was either not well prepared enough, or he did not use the platform of Parliament to attack the government on a gamut of issues, that at least in the first 10 minutes, his references to Bharat Jodo and what he was trying to do in the Bharat Jodo were meandering. They did not hit the right notes. And when he came to the part about Manipur, it was more rhetorical than anything substantive. So was this an opportunity missed? Because tomorrow, Mr. Modi is going to speak, and he's probably going to speak for a couple of hours. And his is going to be a completely political speech.
But see, I would like to make one thing very clear. The issue of Manipur is happening for almost 3 months. And because of the genocide and the entire Manipur is burning, we just asked for, under Article 273, for a long-term debate. But the government totally did not agree for that. And that is the reason we went for a no-confidence, we moved a no-confidence motion and demanded the Prime Minister to come and answer. And that is what is going to happen tomorrow. Otherwise, he wouldn't have turned up. The Parliament is for discussion. And today, our leader Rahul Gandhi said very clearly that he is going to talk from his heart than from his mind. From the, heart mainly. What he said is a man with full of ahankar. In Ramayana, Ravana is not killed by Rama. Basically, he is killed by his own ahankar. The ego and ahankar of Modi is going to put an end for himself. And that is going to happen very soon. Because why he covered everything like unemployment, price rise, division politics, and selling of all the public sector, and so many other things. See, last session we asked for a JPC, that never happened. See, people are watching. No, people are not, keeping. They are very sensible people. And whereas Modi is become almost a mute, he is senseless. He is not able to feel what the people feel. He is not able to understand the people's emotion. That is why he is keeping quiet. Otherwise, within 2 days, he would have cleared whatever is happening in Manipur. Within 2 days, if Modi has thought that he must curb the violence there, he could have done it. But he becomes senseless. And his lot of ahankar and ego has engulfed Modi,
Verma, this whole reference
which is what our leader pointed out very clearly.
Let me ask Pawan Verma that this whole reference to Ravan and ahankar, wo sirf do logon ki sunte hain. Do these sort of cut eyes? Do these stand out? Will these be like the headlines in tomorrow morning's newspapers and then everybody forgets about it? I mean, did it have the kind of punch that Rahul Gandhi could have perhaps hoped from the platform of Parliament?
No, frankly, I'll tell you, I do not doubt that Mr. Rahul Gandhi has his heart in the right place. And I do not question the courage of his convictions. But I will maintain that he is not a parliamentary orator. And therefore, this opportunity to put the government on the mat on so many issues which he has been talking about publicly, I think was lost because he focused first predictably and repeatedly on some random experiences of his Bharat Jodo Yatra, which we have heard more than once, and then went into polemical kind of an outburst on Manipur, which I don't think did the job that people were expecting him to do, although I'm sure his intentions were good.
Okay, GVL wanted to make a quick point and then Nalin Mehta right after that. Yeah, GVL.
Zakka, as I said, you see, this calling names to the Prime Minister, calling him a Ravan, it's certainly graceless. I also think this is something that might get expunged and should get expunged. Such expressions are highly offensive. And if there is anyone who has indulged in Lanka Dahan, self-destruction, it is Rahul Gandhi. The Congress party, before he entered, before he became a factor in Congress party, it was in power or it was doing hell and hearty. He has certainly completely brought the Congress party to its current passe. So if there is anyone who has indulged in self-destruct act, it is Rahul Gandhi himself who can take that credit and not the Prime Minister.
Again, Nalin Mehta, tomorrow when the Prime Minister speaks, obviously he is going to hit the ball out of the park. He is a wonderful orator. He has done so many times in Parliament. And more worryingly for the opposition, this whole debate will be remembered for Mr. Rahul Gandhi's speech, Mr. Amit Shah's speech, and of course it will be capped by the Prime Minister's speech. And again, this whole framing of Rahul versus Modi, it suits the BJP. The BJP will be happy with that because it is an uneven contest. When Mr. Gandhi was not a member of Parliament for the 4 months that he was not, it became more of a collective thing. Mr. Kharge was the face. There were other, equally important members of the India Alliance, from Mamata Banerjee to Nitish Kumar to Arvind Kejriwal, etc. In a way, they would have been happy that Mr. Gandhi was no longer, the face of that alliance, or at least he had taken a sidestep because he was not in holding any public office. But now that he's back in Parliament and now that he has spoken, and Mr. Modi will surely respond to what he said, does the battle for 2024 once again risk falling under this Modi versus Rahul framing?
Yes, Zakka, I think you're right. I think the BJP prefers the Modi-Rahul Gandhi matchup. Having said that, Rahul Gandhi today is a different Rahul Gandhi from the Rahul Gandhi of 2019, also of the Rahul Gandhi of 2021, 2022 until the UP elections, Gujarat elections. How much different it is, that only the hustings will tell us. Having said that, there are 3 points I want to make. The first is that a resurgent Rahul Gandhi, much was expected from him in this speech. I don't think he's given the wider critique of the government that many thought he would, in the way that he did in the last no confidence motion 3 or 4 or 5 years ago. Second, a stronger Rahul Gandhi politically is also a problem in the NDA alliance, in India alliance. because it creates an issue around who's the leader and all of that. Paradoxically, the stronger Rahul Gandhi becomes, the more difficult it becomes within the India alliance. Finally, I think we have seen a presentation of stated positions by both the BJP and the opposition. The opposition attack has been dispersed. Like you rightly said, the standout takeaways people will remember will be Amit Shah, Rahul Gandhi, maybe Smriti Irani. But the opposition attack has been largely diffused. It has not been specific on Manipur. And Rahul Gandhi spoke on Manipur, but not so. But beyond that, he didn't give the largest constructive critique. I think Narendra Modi, when he speaks tomorrow, will give a large report card of the way that Amit Shah did, but in his own specific style, in his patented Modi style. And I think in that sense, Rahul Gandhi missed an opportunity here, even though he had a soundbite moment. I think he could have used his time to make a larger structured critique. Since we are seeing a drawing board of the 2024 election, I think it's leaving the field a bit open for Narendra Modi to come in and do what he does.
All right. I think you're absolutely right. It is leaving the field open, and surely Mr. Modi is going to play the role of the finisher, if I were to use a cricketing analogy, like a Dhoni or a Hardik Pandya, because he is the concluding speaker of this debate, and he will, as Nalin said, make this almost like a campaign speech, almost setting the tone for the 2024 election. And I think it's going to be a very clear speech that this is what my government has done for the last 9 years, and this is what this bandying of opposition parties, call them by a new name, the India Alliance, this is what they've offered over the last 70 years, and you choose the difference in the last 9 years and the years before that. I think it's going to be a very stark sort of choice that the Prime Minister will present as the choice for 2024, and also this whole theme, which is going to be a running theme throughout between now and 2024. You've got India on the one side and quit India of corruption, dynasty and appeasement on the other, and this is the choice that the people of India have to make. As I